I'm Davies, and this is As Yet Untitled, the show where I sit and have a nice conversation with four interesting/funny people. We don't have any questions or agenda or topics. You might think, oh, well, won't bother then. But no, they're really good. At the end of it, we'll come up with a title for the show. So please, will you welcome my guests? Welcome. Welcome, all of you. I'll introduce you, if I may.
Please do.
Joe Brand is here. Joe Brand. Joe Brand was a teenage fire risk and will never again tell a German man about her sore feet. Joe Brand. James Acaster. James Acaster is available to play any Woodland gigs and hasn't been back to Basingstoke since 2009. Delighted to welcome Ricky Tomlinson, for whom private members' clubs are not his natural habitat and his ship has never sailed. And Sara Pascoe, welcome to Sara. Sara was always going to marry a pop star.
Ooh.
So you're all very welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm pleased we've got the drink numbers organised.
Yes, good.
Pair of drinks, pair.
Wonderful.
Now I'm going to worry there's a secret signal going on. Like, if they're enjoying themselves, they drink the dark drink. If they're having a terrible time, they drink the white drink.
That's
There's
brilliant.
something they're signalling to each other. They're plotting something.
I couldn't help myself.
That's epically paranoid.
Yeah.
Good work.
Always look for a code.
That is a very good motto. In fact, that's a very good title for this show. I never have a pen with me. I'll have to try and remember that.
What have you got, Alan? What are you drinking?
That's fizzy water.
You've got the lime in it. It's instantly jealous.
Is that
Did you ask for a lime or did they just give it to you?
They gave me a lime, but
One
not
day.
James.
One day you'll have a
Message
lime.
received.
When it's your show, James, in the future...
I just have nothing but limes. I just have a cup of limes and a shot of water on the side if I want to put it in there.
There used to be a TV show years ago called that, wasn't it? What's My Lime?
Hey.
Sorry about that.
You see why we invited him?
Well, good night, everyone.
I want to meet the first comedian who wasn't yet born when I started doing stand-up. And you're getting close.
1985.
No, I was... You'd started by then, did you?
At 86 I started.
Did you?
So you were one.
It's one.
Ah.
I remember your first gig. It was good.
Did your mum stick you in front of the telly?
Yeah.
Watch that scary old dummy.
It's
Brilliant.
important.
The first time I met Jo, I was telling her that me and my sister Cheryl had your Through the Cake Hole video, and so we must have been probably 8, and we could not wait to start our periods so we could ruin people's furniture. So like, we were the only kids at school not worried. We were like, come on, adolescents!
Because I used to do a line about when you've got a very heavy period, go around someone's house you don't like and sit on their new sofa.
And we thought this was the
Sorry.
best
It's not
thing
like
we'd
that
ever
anymore,
had.
honestly.
I've got the painters and decorators in, you used to
I've
say.
got the painters and decorators in. Arsenal are playing
Arsenal
at
are
home.
playing at home.
And I've got a vast amount of blood squirting out of my vicar.
That's the one I know. Now I know what you're talking about.
I did that on Jack and Ori. Didn't go down very well.
Joe and I were on Celebrity Millionaire, and we got to 64,000, and we were playing for the local hospital in Liverpool. And the next question, I've never forgiven myself. You knew the answer. And I said, don't take a chance. Don't take a chance. So I'd done the kids out for another 60 grand, didn't I? She knew the answer.
Do you remember what it was?
The question was, what's her husband's name?
Wasn't it a political question?
No, it's where was vanilla from?
Where's vanilla
Where's
from?
vanilla from, yeah?
Madagascar.
Oh,
Yeah.
What's the
you've
best way?
seen the show. You've seen...
No, everyone knows that.
It's on
don't
the,
they?
it's
If
on the
they've
top
watched
of
it.
custard from Waitrose.
Oh, is it? Hey, showing your true colours.
Yeah. My kids are learning the alphabet at the moment and they think W is for Waitrose.
Bless.
So tell me why you would never tell a German man about your sore feet. What's gone on there?
Well, my brother lives in Germany. He married a German woman, and we used to go and visit quite a lot. I did German A-level, so I rather fancied myself quite good at German. And her dad was a very interesting guy. He was Nazi soldier, lovely, nice guy. We went out for a walk one day, and I was thinking, what should I say to him about...
Immediately thought he was goose-stepping as soon as
Well, interestingly, we did show him the episode of Fawlty Towers. And my sister-in-law did simultaneous translation, and actually he loved it. He thought it was hilarious. So
It is funny.
So I got back from this walk, and I wanted to say to him, my feet are hurting. And feet is Fuster. I should have said, meine Fuster tut mir weh, which means my feet are hurting. But I said, meine Fotze tut mir weh, which means my is hurting.
There's the title for the show.
Is that why we went to war?
Yeah, so I was doing my best.
But do you know how tall Hitler was and where he lived?
Yes.
He was that tall and he lived over there.
But I think in foreign languages, they shouldn't make things sound the same. I had a very similar thing in Italy where I thought there's a pasta dish called penne arrabbiata. Yeah, it's a very common dish, and the penne is spelled P-E-N-N-E. Now, the word for penis in Italian is P-E-N-E.
Oh.
It's too similar. So I asked for an angry penis in a restaurant. And very similarly, you think, why haven't they changed the word?
But I think, there is endless entertainment with mistranslations. And I once said to a lovely French bloke that I got off with, I've been bitten by a swarm of handkerchiefs. And I wanted to say mosquitoes, but obviously I'd only done O-level, so I didn't know what mosquitoes. So I knew flies pretty close, mouche, but just said mouchoir by mistake.
I had a thing in France where I went with a friend and she spoke fluent French and I didn't. And she went into a shop and I was waited outside. It was just me and a big dog had been tied up outside, but it looked like a human being in a dog costume. Just tied up, but just like he was just wearing it for a laugh outside the shop. And people would go past, and because the dog was so funny looking, they would stroke it and comment on it, but they'd always comment to me because they thought it was my dog. Because I don't speak French, I'd just say oui, and then they'd move on. And one guy came along and he really made fun of he said loads of stuff about the dog. Then I agreed with him, and then a lady stopped and did a double take at us and then bollocked both of us for whatever I just agreed to about that dog. I'd stand there, and every time she was telling us off, he was looking at me like, she does not get us, man. Like, this whole we know it's fine to do what we just agreed to do to that dog, but she doesn't get us at all.
You can watch the rest of this episode on UK TV Play. And now for some extra stories that didn't make the show.
So you used to be a pathological liar?
Yes. I spent a really long time feeling very ashamed of how I behaved as a child and a teenager. And I've recently decided you have to be OK with the fact that you've done things that now... But I now actually think it's probably connected to being a comedian now. I make stuff up and pretend it happened to me on stage and I get paid for it. And I think it's exactly the same thing, the same part of my brain. You tell me a story, the next time I tell it, I pretend it happened to me.
So when you say lying, you're inventing tales that never happened to impress people?
Yes, but I think I believed them. So at school, I really think I thought I was a brilliant liar, because when you're a liar, nobody tells you they don't believe you. What they do is they bring up someone else and go, come on, guess who's Sarah's singing teacher, Mariah Carey? Tell her, Sarah. Yeah, so Mariah Carey came round, and I thought I was so good at lying that nobody realised it. And now look back and realise, of course, everybody knew. But if everybody fancied someone, I would say I'd got off with them. I didn't kiss anyone until 16, and I would do things like I would do quizzes in magazines about losing my virginity, and I'd leave it around for people to read. I was such and I think I spent a really long time feeling really ashamed of myself.
Fantasist.
But that's it, and I believed myself. Like, I believed I had this really exciting life, that stuff happened.
Yeah.
You're nodding. Did you do this as well?
No.
You were nodding that.
Yeah, I'm nodding in trying to be nice and supportive way.
Yeah. And I got in trouble because sometimes I would make up lies about other children, or I'd tell things, and I was the kind of person that if you told me a funny anecdote or something that happened to you in Sainsbury's,
You'd
I would
adopt
tell it
it.
back to you the next day.
Yeah.
And then you'd say, that happened to me, and I'd go, no, it didn't. It happened to me as well today.
I have the same problem with my wife. Everything I say, she says, no, you never. But that's the way it is, isn't it? That's why we're so happily married.
My friend Darren at school was he's lied about everything, and he told me that his birthday party that was coming up was fancy dress, and that it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I was like, I haven't got an outfit like that, but I've got a Superman outfit. He went, yeah, wear that, and then obviously I was the only one. So everyone else is just dressed normal, I was dressed as Superman, and people were like flipping my cape and running away.
Makes a change from your red frock, though.
If only you'd had that outfit,
Yeah.
you could have flown home.
Could have flown home that night.
Basically, the kid who lived next door to me was a fantasist. Like that. But no, he wasn't. He was a liar. He would say, I'm talking about primary school age. And I remember some RAF jets went over one day, quite exciting. I don't know why they were flying over Essex. Maybe they got a North Weald, but I'm sure that was Spitfires. Anyway.
They have to do a touchdown, I think, somewhere in North Essex.
Do they?
Yeah.
They weren't,
Like
you know,
Tiptree
they
or
whizzed
somewhere,
over. It was
they've
quite
got big ones,
exciting.
Do they, Sarah?
In Sarah's garden, they do.
It was my garden.
Land on your helipad, are they?
Maiden beans on toast.
He shouted out, "That's my uncle." That's my uncle. You know, that sort of a
That's
lie.
the kind of thing I would do. I've just remembered, this is horrible. So I was 14, I'd had to start a new school. And I became best friends with this girl, and I was really intimidated that she was rich and I was poor. So I told her I had a horse. And then she believed me, and I'd seen a horse in a field, and I thought, I'll just take her to it and say, this is my horse, and stroke it. And she couldn't come with me without her parents. So we all walked through Hainault Country Park with me going, just around the corner, guys. And then until I could get to a field where I thought this horse was going to be, and it wasn't. So then I had to pretend it'd been stolen. And went back to their house, like fake phone calls to my mum and the horse police. And I look back now and go, oh, obviously they knew I was lying. But at the time I was just like, I think I got away with that.
Childlike. It really is childlike.
He gone round the corner, this is the farmer shooting it.
That's my one.
Didn't want it anyway.
When you've got little children, which I have, you say to them, right, you've got to do this now, and then this will happen, and then they'll get past the first hurdle. I'm trying to think of an example, but I'm hopeless because I'm too fatigued from having small children. But they'll only, what I'm trying to say is they'll only deal with the first problem. They'll tell a lie, or they'll do something, and they'll say, oh yeah, I'll put my coat on, and I'm going to, and then once they get to that point where you've had an agreement, if you eat this, you can have that, or if you put your coat on, we go here. But they don't want to do it, so they just go to the next problem and then dispute that, and the next one dispute that. So everything they say is a lie. They're completely untrustworthy. They'll say anything to get to the next step. They can't have any vision of the future. It's all happening immediately, and it's all about being in this relationship with you, which are continually untruthful. And you have not left that stage.
No, I haven't left that stage.
You're 4 years old.
So that's the thing. So say like you had told me, and you're right, it's like being a child. If you had said to me, lock the door, and I've forgotten, and I get in the car and you go, have you locked the door? And I say, yep. Because I've told those two lies, when you go back and check the door and it's open, I go, I don't know what the hell's happened to that door, because I definitely locked it. Do you believe in ghosts? Because I'm already too deep in the lie to go, yeah, they know the 2 times you asked me before I didn't, and you know I've lied.
You've got two stages of childhood. You've got the continual untruthfulness so you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And then the imagination of adolescence combined. So you're like a toddler with imagination. You're a nightmare.
I think she'd have made a bloody good MP.
That's my future. That's the next bit. I don't know where the money went. I saw I built a hospital. It was there. I don't know. Maybe the Lib Dems took it. I don't know where it's gone.
Yeah, stand for office and carry on regardless. I like that.
I love it.
James, what was your dad's band? Would we know them?
No, they were called Flintlock. I don't think they were especially successful, but he was on top of the Pops ones.
Flintlock?
No one remembers.
Yeah, I
Do you remember
do,
them?
yeah.
So they had two TV shows.
Good-looking lad in the band, do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
So my dad was only sort of 17 at the time, and he's still a musician. He's a jazz musician now, and it really made him. He was very hurt by what fame was like. Actually, I felt very exposed, and they didn't make any money. Sometimes people now on Facebook will say, "Oh, that's why you got a career. Your dad was a millionaire." I really wish that was the truth.
That's they've done a lot of research to know that as well.
It's on my Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
So they've literally just one bit of research.
Does your dad do your Wikipedia as well?
Yeah.
Mine does.
Does he?
It's not even a joke.
No.
And I haven't asked him to do that.
No.
I just want to point that out. He does it off his own back, and I didn't know it for years. I just thought, I've got a Wikipedia. I wonder who started that. And then one day he was like, someone keeps messing around with your Wikipedia after I've updated it. It's like, pardon, what have you been doing? Every time I update it, someone changes stuff, and I was like, how long have you been doing that for? Oh, I started it about 5 years ago, and I've been doing it. Oh, right, it's you. The whole time it's been you.
Your dad writes comments on message boards as well, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, but let's not talk about that.
That's absolutely, we must talk about that.
Well...
His dad likes to antagonise, so whatever the message board is, he will say the opposite to see how good their argument is.
My dad's banned from the Guardian website.
There's another good title I'm trying to love. How did he manage that? I imagine they ban people quite a lot. That's the ironic thing about liberals, is they like banning people.
I love it, yeah. He would argue with people who actually he agreed with for a laugh. So I think when you retire, you get a bit bored and stuff. And
so he's retired, is he?
He's retired.
What did he do for a job?
He taught chemistry and he marked exam papers and went abroad and trained. He's an educated man who shouldn't really be behaving in this manner. He would start off just on like Manchester United fans. He supports Manchester United, and if anyone else was saying about like how great they were, he would deliberately be like, "No, they're rubbish." He would sit there with his Manchester United T-shirt.
So my mum was always getting really... I'd broken the toaster already because you have to take the crumbs out, and if you don't take the crumbs out, it makes a fire. So I'd already broken the toaster, that had nearly caught fire, so I was using the grill to make toast, and I had left it on and left the house, and it caught fire. But I also hadn't shut the front door, so I'd done 2 wrongs, and the neighbours saw the fire through the door.
That's lucky.
Yeah, so I couldn't get told off for not locking the front door, you see, because that had saved it from the fire. Yeah,
what if the ghost starts a fire?
Yeah, yeah, and I denied everything.
Yeah.
I saw my neighbour's house was on fire, and I alerted him. And he was a very elderly man. I mean, about 19, a very elderly man. And his wife is still alive. I remember his wife died a couple of years later. Anyway, so they're both very elderly. And I parked my car just outside their house, and the curtains weren't pulled, and I could see flames in there, but not at fire great level, you know, kind of up on and the candle had obviously gone over. And it looked like the sort of thing that it was 5 more minutes and this could be really bad, you know, it just started. So I'm banging on the door, hello, hello, and I'm shouting his name through the door and trying to, is there anyone in? And I'm starting to think, what shall I do? And then his bathroom was on the ground floor, and he'd been in the bath, and I could see through the letterbox. This very elderly man with a very small towel slightly draped across himself. I shouted through the letterbox. I mean, I'm pretty sure I went, oh! There's a fire, there's a fire. I'm so sorry, I didn't know you were having a bath. I'm so sorry. If you throw your towel over...
Have you taken a lot of mushrooms?
So,
but he was very grateful to me subsequently.
Before he would have seen that fire as well, he would have just thought you were sarcastically, like, making out that he looked pretty good. Oh, there's a fire! There's a fire out here! Let me tell you! Leave me alone, Davis, I've had enough of this. Every day when I get out the bath, you're like, leave me alone.
That was exactly the sort of thing. The funny thing was, he was the sort of person, that's exactly the sort of behaviour he thought was the pinnacle of humanity. Yeah. To be alert, to see someone was in danger, to alert them. He was a neighbourhood watch fanatic. And he was the sort of person who would sleep in the car if there'd been a spate of... As there were a lot, it used to happen a lot, and windows broken and radios nicked. Virtually everybody I know has had a window broken and a radio nicked. But you haven't, of
The
course.
radio.
Yeah, right. Right. But he was the sort of person who, if there'd been a couple in the street that happened to other people, it hadn't happened to him, he would sleep in his car. And he slept in his car, and he caught. I think he got several people like that, like half a dozen different criminals. He
Just dressed in his towel. Towels on.
Yeah, to think, have the idea of doing it is one thing, but to actually, when you see the kid coming along, to leap out and get them and keep them and make a citizen's arrest and do the whole thing, is impressive.
Very
it's really
It's
amazing.
impressive.
Towel like a cape.
Yeah.
Towel
It
cape.
must be so. I mean, they just, most of them just boys, just terrified. Someone emerges from the car, grabs you. Yeah. It's quite exciting.
I love it. I love it on a train when, like someone's playing their phone or got their feet up and you can't help it. It's owning a communal space and saying it's yours, and you sit there kind of silently fuming, and then an old person gets up on behalf of everyone to say, "What you're doing is very rude. You're a hero." And that guy, what an amazing man.
Yeah, you'd be all over that.
I secretly love it when someone's sitting in my reserve seat on the train. I really enjoy getting on and realising they're in my reserve seat. Well, this is an argument I'm definitely going to win.
So you say something.
Yeah, I just go over and go, "Oh, excuse me, sorry, I'm sitting there."
No.
And I really love the power of standing there while they get up in front of everyone. It's been like, someone thought they would sit in my reserve seat. Well, not going to happen.
Oh, so I'm the exact opposite. I get on and go, reserve that, someone's there. I just go and sit near the toilets at the floor. Because I can't tell them.
If it's not busy, I won't do it.
I had one who wouldn't move though. He was quite a big fella.
Yeah.
He's just sitting down, and he got in, and he said, "Oh, is this you?" And I said, "Yep, that's me." So he go, "Are you 28 then?" Because I might have made a mistake. No, I'm an interloper. So the seat opposite was 32. I said, "Well, I suppose I could sit in 32. Let's hope 32 doesn't turn up." And he said, "Well, if he does, I shall tell him that you are the interloper."
Kids play.
Wow.
Like that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to win in this standoff.
Oh, I
Could
wish
you
I
not
was
have
like
beaten
that.
him in a fight?
No,
No,
he was
fair
massive.
enough.
Well, it would have. He was also not a young man, so it would have been whichever way we'd cut, it would have been an
would have
awful
gone
Daily
wrong.
Mail story.
Yeah. I was in Camden Market once, and there was a couple like having a really terrible argument, and it was getting really out of hand. And what's so weird about people is they just walk past, and it looked like the bloke was kind of really threatening. And at one point, he just went like this towards her, and I really thought he was going to hit her in the face. And so I went to him, "Oi!" like that, and he looked round and went, "What are you doing?" And whilst I was saying that to him, she hit him on the head with an umbrella. I was so pleased.
Okay, that's strike three for Brand. Strike three.